Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex news update. And today we have the first set of spoilers that are coming for the upcoming manga chapter. So that would be chapter 14 of 2 Blue Vortex, which, as a reminder for new viewers on the channel, chapter 14 will officially drop on the 20th this month. So this is the part of the month where spoilers, they're going to begin dropping. The order is going to be as follows. 6 days before the chapter releases, so today, we get the official preview spoiler from the official Naruto website. So information Shueisha wants you to know. Then sometime between the 15th and the 18th, we get the leak spoilers via leakers who managed to obtain the chapter before the official release date in Japan. On the 18th, we get a second preview from the official Naruto website. And then on the months where V-Jump magazine drops on the 20th, like this month, then we get the chapter via the Viz Media Shonen Jump app or the Shueisha Manga Plus app, both of which are free for you to read. This is not a sponsorship or anything like that, just throwing that out there. So now that we've gotten the schedule clarification out of the way for the new viewers, let's dive into the promotional spoiler from the official Naruto website that it's given us. Safe to say that in a perfect world, the people who have been clamoring for answers as to where is the older generation since the time skip, in a perfect world, those fans, they should be ecstatic. They should be happy with what we're getting right now, because we're shown a full page spread of Sakura at the hospital, and she is working like a mad woman on Inojin, and we learned that Inojin is not out of the woods yet because of the damage done to his body by Jura's attack, and that not even Himawari using the Nine-Tails Chakra to heal him has repaired the damage. There's still significant damage done internally that is preventing him from waking up, which we'll touch on in a moment, but I don't think that this is surprising one bit at all. What's also interesting here is that Ino has abandoned her position in helping Shikamaru as his aide and is now there in the hospital with her son, which that does make sense. This is her child, and it's her only child. So of course she would be there to check on the kid who is being mortally wounded and nurse back to health. The same reason why Sakura would be the one who's looking at Inojin and not some random medic is the son of her best friend. So to the people I've seen complaining about Sakura being the one to heal Inojin, that's the whole reason she is there. It wouldn't have made sense for anyone else there, especially given the new information we have here, which is that Jura's attack did a lot more damage than we had initially suspected. Sakura, as she's working like this mad woman on Inojin, reveals that while it's shocking to believe that he had been penetrated through the torso and that he should have been considered dead, his body, it is now completely healed, but he's not out of the woods yet. And it's because of what Sakura is able to conclude in regards to why he's still unable to regain consciousness. She says that whatever attack hit him completely disrupted and messed up his chakra pathway system. So the flow of chakra itself has been completely thrown off. And what Sakura's in the process of trying to fix, saying that she is almost done and that they made the right choice bringing him to her as quickly as they did because she can fix what's done. This also lines up very well when you think about it. Jura hit him with that tree attack. Basically, it's a wood release attack, which we know wood release has properties that can suppress chakra, but also seal and absorb chakra depending on the situation that the user's in. Every person who we've ever seen inside of those trees have one thing in common, and Jura even says like you're gonna go to sleep at one point. They're unconscious, they're in a deep sleep. Their chakra, it has been absorbed, and while they are alive, it wouldn't be crazy to say that they've had their chakra drained down to a point of being near absolute zero, which in the Naruto world, as a reminder, absolute zero, that is literal death, and it is not to be confused with people saying they've run out of chakra. That's just them saying that they've gone past the point where they can safely perform ninjutsu without the risk to their body. The trees being wood release means their chakra would be sealed, hence the constant slumber we see so many characters in. Inojin being hit by something like that and having his chakra flow messed up, it lines up with the lore we know about the chakra system in general, and that eventually is going to get us to Himawari and why this whole reveal, it is very instrumental in the future of her character. Sakura saying that Inojin's chakra was disrupted and not properly flowing being the reason that he is unconscious. It is a nice throwback to Naruto and a good way to remind people of some of the more grounded elements in Naruto, which, as we've now gone 10 years since Naruto's manga's ended, and based on the number of comments I still see from people who don't know the difference between shadow clones and clone jutsu, which is exactly why in 2025 we're going to be bringing back the explained video series. So like the ninjutsu handbook, the ninja clan handbook, because the number of comments I see, like the shadow clone comments, Sharingan, not understanding how that works. It seems like a lot of people need refreshers. And I've been alienating the casual Naruto fans on this channel by focusing so much on Boruto. So heads up for 2025. We're doing a retooling. This was a very smart move to bring up how the flow of chakra works by Ikimoto and tying it all together with Inojin's internal body and etc. So inside the chakra pathway system, you have the 361 nodes that make up the Tenketsu that directly control the flow of chakra for every person. Chakra being physical energy of the body and spiritual energy of the mind and the soul. Those are the two parts of chakra. The chakra pathway system, it is vital for a shinobi, as the flow of blood is for us with our bodies. Just as like our organs and etc. need blood and etc., it's the same with chakra for Naruto characters, where chakra, it is funneled into the organs, the heart and the lungs of shinobi. That's why, like, if you look at the 8th gate, one of the things that Guy does is he directly touches the node over the heart. When that flow is disrupted, it's more than just being unable to perform jutsu. Your whole system is messed up because every cell, every protein, every organ in the body has that connection to chakra to it. That's why the Hyuga clan's gentle fist fighting style is so lethal, and we've seen it particularly with Hinata's father. When he was pissed off, he kills a man with one hit in the way that he uses the Hyuga clan's gentle fist fighting style. And that's why Neji was shocked that Naruto could still function after being hit by 64 palms, which should have had him feeling quadriplegic, which is a form of paralysis where you have trouble speaking and breathing without assistance, which is why Inojin right now being unconscious makes sense. Just as that fighting style targets the insides, Jura's attacks did something very similar to Inojin based on what Sakura is seeing here. The difference here is that whereas Neji stops short of having killing intent with Naruto because it's the tuning exams, and especially with Hinata, where even though he got pissed off, he stopped short of killing her, and he damaged her heart to a point where she needed over a month to recover, and she still was not 100% by the events of the Sasuke retrieval arc in the manga. So all that time after the tuning exams, up until the moment that Jiraiya takes Naruto to go train, Hinata had just recovered by the time we got to that point. Jura went right for the kill, and Inojin is suffering as a result of that, which is why Sakura is working to restore the flow of his chakra. Now, this also brings us up to Himawari and why this is such a big moment for her. And it's not just because of the whole people that are shipping Inojin and Himawari, which, while I'm not a fan of it because I don't particularly care for shipping, I troll with ships, but I'm just going to remind people they're 2 years apart in age, so this ain't like some grooming stuff like people are saying. If Tamari is 20 years old and she was a romantic interest for Shikamaru, who is 16 going on 17 years old in the final arc of Naruto, and that was allowed without any issues, I don't see a reason for people to be upset of a pairing with a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old being shipped together. Have at it, Hoss, either way, but moving back to it, I do think this whole development is good for Himawari. It shows that despite everything that we've seen with Himawari, where people were either throwing fits that she was stated to have a higher affinity to use Kurama's chakra than Naruto, and she was able to heal Inojin using Kurama's chakra, she still has room to grow here, so we can drop all these Mary Sue complaints that people have been saying for the last couple of months. If she was a Mary Sue, then she would have fixed everything in one go and would have been in perfect control of Kurama's power. She wouldn't have had any issues with it, which she did. Words have meaning. She's not a Mary Sue. She's talented, but she's not a Mary Sue. What's also interesting here is that it opens up the door for part of her improvement to be linked to her Byakugan, which it is important to note because the Byakugan is able to see the chakra pathway system down to the smallest minute details, including the way that it's connected to the organs. If Himawari is able to use the Byakugan with Kurama's chakra in the future. The door is about to be blown wide open for what she can cook up in the future once she puts everything all together. The more time goes by, and even though we know that Ikimoto and Kishimoto have both said that Ikimoto has made changes via the Nimmu to the original story that Kishimoto mapped out for Boruto, where parts of it are unrecognizable, the more that we see with Himawari here, the more I'm beginning to wonder if the idea that Kishimoto had for Boruto to have a Kyuubi mode and a double Byakugan have been passed down to Himawari, a character that Ikimoto has been fascinated with since the start of Boruto's manga, which now makes all those statements he made about Himawari in 2016 and 17 make more sense, to a point that Ikimoto even assisted in the Himawari Academy arc in the anime. Byakugan combined with Kyuubi Chakra, the ways that Himawari could combine them, they are endless, especially if she is shown having inherited the aptitude for chakra control that her mother Hinata had, and hopefully she doesn't have to stumble and bumble her way to perfect chakra control the way that her father Naruto had to, by taking 9 left turns and then retracing his steps and take 9 more left turns before the idiot finally figured out he needed to make a right turn, and he was able to gain perfect chakra control that both surpassed both of his parents as well as left Kurama stunned. Yes, I know Naruto is a genius of hard work. I'm still gonna call him a paint chip eating, crayon sniffing, super glue drinking, bumbling idiot because it's funny. I like idiot 12-year-old Naruto, so I'm gonna poke fun at him. She's got a lot of potential here when it comes to fixing that hole in her skill set that is currently there. The torso getting a hole in it, basically ripping the chakra network the way that a bullet can nick an artery. It basically is Himawari having stopped the bleeding, but Sakura had to use medical ninjutsu to repair the other damage that Himawari couldn't fix. And based on Sakura's words, they managed to get Inojin to her in enough time to save him. Now, the crying about Sakura's in the chapter, it's something I want to address here. It's been 4 years since we've seen her. You would think people are happy, but my God, the meltdowns I've seen online, I think is stupid. It's that classic example of you can't win for losing, which for my overseas viewers, that means no matter what you do, you're not going to win in the end. You're going to lose regardless. People, they scream bloody murder that the older class, they weren't shown months ago when Two Blue Vortex started last year. And I said, hey, you're probably going to see them in a limited role, but only when it makes sense for them to be involved. Similar to how it made sense for Ino and Shikamaru to be so prominent because he is the Hokage and he is working with Boruto, and Ino is the head of the Sensu unit and is connecting all the parties together. It's not by mistake that we see Sakura in this chapter healing Inojin in the same chapter that the guy that Sasuke ran off with is probably interrogated. You don't drop a guy or a woman from the old generation into the manga just for fan service, especially when you're using the current threats to establish the new generation to see where they hold up, especially for a monthly manga format where V-Jump magazine only gives you 40 to 43 pages to tell your story. You can't waste pages by just going for fan service. This was the right place to put Sakura. She's healing Inojin and showing Himawari that despite her new power that she has, she still has a ways to go, which is why I'm not going to be shocked if we learn that Sakura ends up working with Himawari off screen after this. The whining of people saying Sakura's here, from the same people that were whining she was not in the manga months ago and whining that Himawari suddenly healed Inojin and it should have been Sakura. It goes back to what my editor and what my mentor said when I was an editorial assistant. You never write a story trying to give fans everything you think that they want. You write the story that you as the writer want to tell, and it is your job as a creative writer to show them that what they think they want isn't what they truly want, but instead what they want is the very story that they hadn't considered before, which is the story that you're telling them. Basically, as a writer, it's your job as a salesman to make them say, you don't want this red dress, you want this black dress. Basically, fans are fickle. Fan is short for fanatic, and fanatics will never be satisfied, which is why you only devote so much of your creative time trying to appease them. but ultimately you tell the story that you want to tell, which thank God Ikimoto knows that, has spoke on that, and spoke on that writing practice. Hence that he said that he knows people are annoyed that while we did see women wear heels in Naruto, like Tsunade, who had no problem fighting in heels, and Shizune, who had no problem fighting in heels, and Sakura and Naruto Gaiden, who had no problem fighting in heels, he said he's not budging on the female designs because he thinks they look cool. I agree with them. And in universe, it works because they have enough chakra control to a point that they're not stopping to think and say, am I using 1/10 too much chakra in order to not break a heel? If Tsunade can sit there and fight off Kabuto wearing some high ass heels, it's not a problem, because as he said, molding chakra is second nature for these characters, especially for the ones that are supposed to have very, very good chakra control. Lastly, reminder, we are in spoiler territory, so full chapter leaks, they can be out anytime in the next few days. And when they do, like always, I will drop the videos, and using the feedback provided by you guys, we'll have the alert emojis, we'll have the sirens, we'll have the warning emojis in the title before any text. That way you know exactly what you're getting. Thumbnail can't really be helped. It's going to say spoiler. It's going to have something related to it. That's just the nature of the beast. In the meantime, click here for this anime explain video, or click here for this Naruto explain video. And remember that Shinju DNA is love, Shinju DNA is life.